So today we're going to be looking at one of my favourite Gary Moore songs, which is, there's many of them, but this one is called Walking By Myself. It's just a great blues rock song, lots of things to learn and some great phrasing. So let's get on with it. So the intro of the song starts with finger 3 at fret 7 on string 6, which is a B, and finger 1 on string 5 fret 5, which is a D, alternating between them, and then finish on E power chord. It kind of slides away from that. So you get this. 1, 2, 3. So that's the intro. After the second time, he does this kind of a volume swell and a pre-bend. A little bit difficult on this guitar because it's hard to reach the volume knob, but he plays fret 8 on string 2, which is a G, and also fret 8 on the next string, string 3, which is your E flat. But he pushes them up before he picks, and then he lets it down and he brings in the volume. So you get this effect. I'll do that one more time. Volume off, and then push up, and then pick and let down, and then bring in the volume. Okay, so after the intro we have the verse, and this is basically the same phrase that we had at the intro. He plays it 3 times basically, with singing in between. And then that goes to, okay, where we have a B to an A, G to an E. Okay, so you piece that together. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Okay. And then after that, on beat 4, we have fret 7 string 1B going to fret 8 of string 2, which is a G, and he's pushing the G to a G sharp. So you get this sound. And that's on beat 4 and. Okay, so from here, 1, 2, 3. And we have a 2-beat rest, and then at the end he has a B7 sharp 9, which is fret 14, 13, 14, 15, which is a B, D sharp A, and a D with your pinky there, and he just plays the triplets fill on the beat 3 and beat 4. Okay, so you piece that together. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. 2, 3. 2, 3. Okay, so we're at the chorus now. 8 bars. We started with 4 bars with an E power chord. So finger 1, an open E power chord. Finger 1 is going to be on fret 2, and we've got the open E above it. So we've got this kind of a sound. And I've got it written down as 8th notes, but it's a swing or a shuffle. So you have that kind of heartbeat or gallop kind of sound. Now he does that Chuck Berry style playing. Okay, but he does slight variations. On beat 1 and, he picks an up on strings 1 and 2, B and E. So you get that sound. So he does it on beat 1 and, sounds like this. And then in the next measure, he does it again on beat 4 and. So let me do that again. The next 2 bars, we're still on the E power chord. He doesn't catch strings 1 and 2, he just plays a measure of. And then for the last part, he kind of works up to the A power chord. And so this is what he does. Kind of walks up to the A. So here we just have the power chord E. Play the open E again, F sharp, pull off to E, G, G, pull off to E, and then finish on the G sharp, which is the major third of E, and also it's the leading note up to the A, the next chord. So this is how those 4 bars sound all together. Okay, the next part, we're going to an A chord, so that's just like the E chord, but just down a string. So we got open string 5A and fretted string 4 at fret 2, and he continues with that kind of that rock and roll rhythm. He continues that idea going to a B power chord, same kind of rock and roll rhythm. So we have this. And the last 2 measures of the chorus, he does a walking bass line kind of feel going up to the B. So he plays the open E twice, and then he plays fret 3, the G, pull off to E, and then fret 5, A, pull off to E. Grammatically now he's going from fret 6, pull off, B flat, and then that brings us to our final measure, which is B. And there we have 2B, D, fret 5, string 5 with a slight pull on it, and then ending back on the B. So that last section. Put that all together. Okay, so he plays the chorus again. It's identical, no difference whatsoever, apart from the ending, the last 2 bars. Okay, so instead of this, he does this nice little blues phrase. Sounds like this. Okay, and you can see in a diagram, it's an open E minor pentatonic scale. He's got the blues note in there, the flatted 5th, the B flat, going down to the A, very typical in blues phrasing, and he's also have the G going to a G sharp, the minor third going to the major third. So again, string 2, open B, and that's not played on beat 1, that's played on beat 1 and then we've got some triplets. We've got a pull off G to E and then the open B. Our next phrase, we got our B flat, the blues note, sliding down to the A and then pulling off to the G, going to the E, the root, and then the next phrase is the minor third hammering onto the major third, G to G sharp, very quickly, and then passing through an E, and then finishing on 2 Bs, which is going to highlight the chord. Okay, the B chord. So again, okay, starts off with a couple of triplets and then goes into 8th notes. So after the chorus, which was played twice, it goes back to the verse and then chorus again, and then it goes on to the guitar solo. I've broken it down phrase by phrase. This is our first phrase of the solo. Now, this is in the E minor pentatonic. We're at the kind of shape 4. You can see the diagram there. At fret 7, we have and he starts with fret 10, string 2, bending it up and then re-picking it. And then we're going to the G on fret 8, back to the A, E with finger 2, fret 9, And then we use finger 1 for fret 8 with a slight push. That kind of in between that minor and major sound. G natural to G sharp. And then he does an answering phrase. Another bend with the repick. So it's a great phrase. It's like a question and answer phrase or a call and response. And then the answering phrase. Phrase 2. Now this here, as you can see in the tablature, I've kind of simplified it. We're still in that same area. We play fret 7 of string 3, which is a D. The very first time he plays it, it's an artificial harmonic. It's kind of difficult to get when you're in the moment playing. It may have been accidental when he done it. But basically, you have the D, you have the B, B flat, which is the blues note or the blues scale, and then down to fret 7, the A. Basically 4 times. And then after that, we have so he slides down into the shape 3 area. Now, I've written it out differently as well because it's quite important to see how he plays this phrase. Because he doesn't play it as 16th notes. He plays them as triplets. Now, as you can see in a tablature, when you're playing a 4-note phrase over a 3-beat rhythm, then that beat, the beat 1 or beat 2, beat 3, beat 4, is going to be displaced every time. So the first time we play it, the axe, it's on beat on the fret 7 string 3. But then beat 2 is on fret 7 of string 4, the A. Then you play that phrase again. But now the beat is on fret 8, that's beat 3. And then it's on fret 9. And then we're back to what we started with. So I thought it was quite important to highlight the notes that the beat falls on. Now, when he plays that section, it kind of sounds slightly behind the beat because of that. So one more time. Okay, he ends the phrase. This is the second measure. And then he goes to fret 10 of string 5, the G, back to the A, and then a very quick pull off, the fret 8 to fret 7, which is a B flat, again that flatted 5th, back to the G, and the A again, and then fret 10, once again, sliding 7 down to fret 5, and then he ends that phrase with the. Okay, so that's our last little bit there. We have that. Now, he does a lot of kind of sliding. So in between the end of this phrase and the beginning of the next phrase, you get some kind of moving around, just string noise, So you get a lot of that string noise in between. Our third phrase here, we got the trilling on the open B to the D sharp. And basically, just do that as quickly as you can. And then that lasts for 2 beats. You go up to the fret 5, the E, and you trill on the open B and the E for 1 beat. And then you just hammer on, don't pick, just go straight to a hammer to fret 7, the F sharp. Okay. Quick as you can. I use my middle finger. I just find I have it more control over it. Theoretically, really, what he's doing here, I'm not going to compare it to a scale, but basically it's a B7 chord, and that D sharp is our major third of the B. And then the E would be thought of as a sus4. And then when he goes up to the F sharp, that's the fifth of the chord. So it's kind of outlining the B7 chord. Next phrase. So here he's up on fret 12 and he's kind of playing the shape 1 area that guitarists are used to. In the diagram, once again, I've got the whole scale there, and the notes that are red are the notes that are actually being used. He hits that open E first, does his kind of... Now again, there is an artificial harmonic in there that's just 50-50 whether you get it or not. Actually, quite often I get the harmonic on a completely different note, especially when you're using a high gain kind of setting that I've got this distortion on. But here, open E, playing fret 15, the D, bending it up to the E. And then after that, we've got fret 12. And I've got fret 12 on strings 1 and 2 after that. But it's just, you don't have to be precise. Something like that. Okay. And then after that, he's going to the flatted 5th, the blues scale, fret 15, sliding it to fret 14, the A, and then pulling off to the G. But then after that, we've got the E, which is on fret 14. We've got the artificial harmonic. And again, it's 50-50 whether you get it or not. Quite often the fret 12 there, that isn't an artificial harmonic, but quite sometimes I just accidentally get it. I'll do that again. Okay, so our next phrase, phrase number 5, you can actually play this in 2 different places. I think where he's playing it is staying in that same area at fret 12, the minor pentatonic, and he's just doing his triplet. So there I've got my 3rd finger on fret 14 or string 3, which is an A, my pinky on fret 15 or string 2, which is a D, and I'm just pushing the A up to a B. And again, it's a triplet fill 4 times. Playing fret 12 afterwards, I'm kind of pulling back on it a little bit and then finishing on the root. Do that again, sorry. Now you could do that down here if you wanted to. You can do fret 10 with your pinky, the D, fret 10 with your 3rd finger, which is the A, and then pushing it up. And then same thing, you got the A, the G at fret 8, string 2, give it a bit of a push, and then ending on the fret 9 there, the E. Either or, I tend to gravitate towards this here. Then he does that again, but he just does the bends. Okay, he doesn't play the last 2 notes. So again, we have this. Now, after that, this gets to the really technical part. This is phrase number 6. He does a really interesting kind of slide into a bend. He's playing very high up on the guitar. He's got fret 19 there, and he's going to bend it. Basically 3 frets. He's going to bend it a tone and a half, big bend, and a very wide vibrato. But he slides into it. Okay, now to get this, I got the recording, I got the isolated guitar part, and I had to slow it down. It's so quickly played. Once again, we're sliding to fret 19, going into a bend, and it's a big bend and a very big vibrato. And again, big bend with vibrato at the end there as well. Very kind of a lot of use of that wide vibrato. So here he's kind of playing around the shape 3 of the minor pentatonic. You can see in the diagram there the shape that he's using. Again, the red notes are the ones that are being played. Fret 19, again, slide up to it with a big bend. And then he comes back, he plays fret 19, and then another big bend, come back, and then bends it again, pulling off to fret 17. But then, interestingly, he goes a little bit outside of the minor pentatonic there. He plays fret 20 and pulls off to 17. And then on the next string, string 2, same thing, 20, pull off to 17. And then he plays fret 19. I would use my middle finger for that. You could push it a little bit, but you don't really have too much time for a bend. And then he just flattens finger 1, 17, 17, ending on fret 20 of string 2 with a big bend and again a wide vibrato. Now the next bit. This is the hardest part of the solo. Actually, for the longest time, I was playing it wrong. I was just doing it very quickly, playing as fast as I could. But when I listened to the isolated track and I slowed it down, you can hear much clearer the notes that he's using. So let's go through that. Here he's back to that position 1 or shape 1 of the minor pentatonic. He's playing fret 15 on string 1, the G, bending it up and then bringing it down and pulling it off to fret 12, the E. Now after that, I'm going to play slowly what he does. Okay, very quickly played though. So again, we got the bend, and then we play fret 15 again and pull off to 12. Next string, he's thinking more of the Dorian mode. So we've got fret 15, pull off to 12, hammer to 14, pull off to 12, hammer to 15. Okay. Goes to fret 12 of string 1, the E again, but now he hammers and does a hammer on and a pull off to the F sharp, which would be like the interval of a ninth. Okay, so. And then after that, back to fret 15 of string 2, the D, back to the E of string 1, back to the D, fret 15, but now we pull off to the B, fret 12. And then we're going to play fret 14 with our middle finger. If you have time to push it a little bit, great, but if not, don't worry. And then we're going to have finger 1 on fret 12, string 2, roll it back for string 1, and then we're back to fret 15 on string 2, the D with the bend. Now this, see the way he plays this, I've seen lots of live video footages of him doing this song, and this last phrase is never the same. Like, he's just in the moment, okay? And so that's how you want to treat this. I wanted to know exactly what's being played, because that's the whole idea behind these lessons, is doing it note for note off the recording. So, but to play that 100% accurate at this speed is just very, very difficult. You know, you just got to go for it. Sometimes you get it, sometimes you don't. But again, I wouldn't worry too much about it, but it's really interesting to learn what he's doing. That one was a bit messy. Now, that brings us to our final phrase of the guitar solo. So this will be phrase number 8. He's still in that same area, same position, playing the blues scale, really. We have... Okay. Now here again, fret 12, coming down the minor pentatonic, playing the blues notes, the flatted fifth, the B flat, with finger 3, sliding it to fret 4, pull off to fret 12. We've seen this before. And then we're fret 14, the root, rolling our finger back to get the A on the next string, back to the root, fret 12, and then back to the root, fret 12 again, And then here we've got chromatic, we've got the fret 14, and then we're going to chromatically go up to 14 again with 12, 13, 14. And it comes in straight after the very fast note. And one thing to take from that is this last phrase, he's really digging in more. He's really getting in there. And then that will bring you back to... Okay, so after the solo, we're straight back to the verse, and it's pretty much the same thing. He just does some fills in between the phrasing. So we start off with this. Nothing much happens after that. Second time round, he does a crescendo on a trill. He's playing fret 10, which is a D, string 3, and he's trilling onto the E at fret 9. But he could be doing a trill and he could be doing a volume swell. I tend to just trill quietly and get louder. Okay. And then the third time, he does this kind of a slide on different strings, which leads us to that section. And then you're back to... And then right at the end, right on fret 22, it's kind of hard on this guitar, but right on fret 22 just gives it a quick bend. So when you piece that together, this is how the verse would sound. 1, 2, 3. Now that brings us to our chorus. Now this chorus is exactly the same, no different than the first time round you played the chorus. But then he repeats the chorus and he does something different. So instead of that Chuck Berry style playing, he plays an E chord. It sounds like this. He does that 3 times. So basically I've got the E chord, I'm taking off finger 1 and hammering it to G sharp, and then I'm going to pick an up string. So it's going to sound like this. See, that's how I strum down, hammer, and then strum up. And then I stop the strings. Now after that, you can play the bass string again. It's hard to hear if he does that in a recording, but I do. That's on beat 2 and I pick that with a down pick. And then keeping that E chord, I just strum down on beat 3. And then I flatten my third finger on beat 4, strum that with a down. And then I take that off and finger 1, and I'll strum this with a down. And then that would hammer into beat 1 of the next bar. So probably makes more sense if I play it. Now here he does a tag. Okay, so the tag is repeating the A and the B. Does it a third time. And then that would bring us to our outro. Let me do that again for you. So this is the final chorus with a tag. Okay, so now we're at the end of the song, the outro, and he ends this with an E minor pentatonic lick. Sounds like this. Has a triplet feel to it. You can see in the diagram there, I've got the scale written out and then the red notes of the notes being used. It kind of starts on beat 1 with just some open, sounds like open strings, just noise. One hand, you've got fret 15, G, and then the triplet on E, D, E. Bringing finger 3 over to fret 15, the blues notes, the B flat, sliding down to the A, pulling off to the G, And then he plays the G again, and I hammer onto the A. Fret 12 by rolling finger 1 back. Bring it up again, pulling on it and ending on the root. And then that phrase goes straight into this little part here where this fret 14 is the roots that we just finished on. That was the end of the phrase. Very quickly go into an F9 and then down to the E9. Here we got fret 8, 7, 8. And if you can, lay your pinky back for 8 on string 1, and then you just bring it down, and that'll give you the E. And at the end there, I mean, there's lots of string noise. Obviously, he has the amplifier cranked, so you get lots of natural compression and sustain. It's harder to do at lower volumes. But after we do the F9 and like the tremolo picking on that E chord, there's more string noise, more feedback. Plays fret 22, which is D on string 1, bends upper tone to the E, the root. More string noise and feedback. He kind of slides down into the E7 sharp 9 chord and really giving it a punch, you know, and then sliding down. Well, thank you for watching. I hope you got something from this video. If you did like the video, please subscribe and like, maybe write a nice comment. It really does help. Thank you.